Today we are joined by Sunil Raina, who is President and Business Head of Lava International. We are going to talk about the refound focus on the Indian smartphone brands, the challenges and opportunities ahead. And of course, we will discuss what is up with Lava. Welcome to HT Tech. As I said earlier, there is a revived interest in Indian smartphone brands, and Lava has been around for quite some time. What do you have to say about the growing calls for the pushing the Indian smartphone brands?
So I think the Indian brands had to come up someday, and because of country of our size, country of our potential, this is an inevitability that someday Indian brands would finally become global. Okay, that's a natural process that will happen for a large country like ours. But I think what has happened recently because of these recent events, so what has happened is it has got a bit of a harder push. There was a certain pace at which it was moving, certain pace it was happening. But I think that pace has now got changed. It has become far more faster, and it also puts a lot of pressure and responsibility on us to do things faster than what we are doing. We were anyways working on it, but maybe because of the revised scenario, things will definitely speed up much more than they were earlier. Yeah.
So what can we expect from Lava right away? What have you planned for the Indian market? Can you share some details with us?
Yeah. So if you see, we have been last couple of years. See, after this disruption from foreign companies happened 3-4 years back, and the kind of investments and kind of money that was being thrown around in customer acquisition, that was huge. And we as Indian brands at that time were not as prepared, both in terms of the financial strength as well as the capability to design our own products, to manufacture. So because the ecosystem disadvantage that we have in India, that was far too higher to really be able to compete head on with these companies. But we as a company, what we had always been thinking, that this day is eventually going to come when you will have to have this kind of competition and face them. That's why we have been building our strength step by step, both in terms of design, in terms of manufacturing, in terms of supply chain. So what we did is we have been working on getting all of it in our own control, so that when we go out to the market, we are able to provide propositions which really compete with these companies. So what we have been working in the back end is, see today if you see in terms of designing of the phones, we are now the only company in the country, only company in the industry, so to say, which now has a full-fledged design center in India, which has a full-fledged manufacturing of its own, because a lot of companies, they outsource manufacturing to other companies who manufacture for them, but we're the only company who have a manufacturing setup of our own. So these are some of the advantages that we have gained over the last few years, which now I believe the time has come. See, earlier we had a problem of perception, where Indians in this market would not really prefer an Indian brand and would prefer a brand from outside the country. Rightly so, because the kind of products that Indian brands have been giving earlier were not really up to the mark, and when a better product came in, so obviously the customers moved to the right choice, which is definitely the right that they have. So therefore we have also evolved now. So in terms of our capability, now we are at a stage where we are somewhere near that expectation matching that consumers can have from us, and that's what you can expect from us. Whatever products we come out now will definitely be in the range where customers would want to use them, would love them eventually, and have that technology in them.
Coming back to the focus on the Indian smartphone market, and over the period of time, we have seen how Chinese players have been dominating this segment. And not just long ago, Indian smartphone companies were giving the likes of Samsung a very good fight. And I just wonder what happened in between.
See, I'll just take you a bit back into this whole process of evolution of a brand, especially in our kind of space. See, this ecosystem plays an extremely important role in brand building. especially in our category, because this is a technology product, this is a technology industry. So therefore, there are many components of product making and many other components that become very important. In China, the manufacturing shifted somewhere in 80s, right?
Yes.
And some of the top brands that you see today on the world scale, let's say in roughly in 2007, the combined market share of Huawei, DVK Group, Xiaomi, all these put together, the combined market share of all these brands together was roughly some 3%, less than 3% in China. By 2012, they moved to some 19-20%. And currently, they are some 80% plus. But that 3% was at a time when the manufacturing ecosystem in that country was already at least a decade old, more than a decade old. Now, what happened to Indian companies is there was a demand and supply situation which was more skewed towards demand, because suddenly, because of the telecom infrastructure that grew very rapidly, the telecom towers, the mobile phone companies, they came into the country, and the network expanded. With the increased network, the opportunity opened up for a lot of people to go and fulfill this demand. That time, I think the Indian brands were only doing one thing: they were just fulfilling the demand, not really investing in the fundamentals of the business. And while we were slower at that time, in fact, we were not the number one player in the market at that time. Therefore, we were always questioned for not being very aggressive on marketing, not really doing things that other brands were doing. Because that money that was supposed to be invested, we invested that in the fundamentals of the business, which is like building a design system, building a manufacturing, things like that. Because Indian companies did not invest in those fundamentals, when a stronger company came in, customers made the choice which was right for them, because they came up with better products, they gave better quality, they gave better specs, they gave latest technology. So all those things changed. When those changed, customers definitely wanted a better choice for them. That's what changed. And it is no surprise, because this is what happens. But now it is an opportunity for Indian companies, for all of us, really now, because now ecosystem is getting built into India. A lot of manufacturing has started in India. A lot of components are also now getting manufactured in India. It creates an ecosystem where the brands come into picture. They become global. It happened in Korea, it happened in US, it happened in Europe, it happened in Korea, it happened in Japan, it happened in Taiwan, it happened in China. It's no surprise that these brands come from places where manufacturing ecosystem got built for a period of time. You don't hear of a global brand from a place which is not, which does not have a strong manufacturing background. You don't hear of technology brands coming from countries which do not have strong ecosystem. The ecosystem plays a very important role, and once that gets established, I think Indian brands will definitely be able to compete on that platform. Our software skills in the country are the best in the world, right? We just have to acquire the hardware skills, and those skills, once they come in, I think this combination will definitely be a world-winning combination at some point in time.
So I have two supplementary questions, and number one is about early days of Indian smartphone companies. There was a lot of allegations of that not being creative enough, going to China, just relabeling the ODM brands, the products from the China, and just repackaging them and launching them here. And soon enough, all those players came to India, and then they started flooding the market. So do you think that is one of the mistakes that Indian smartphone companies did initially, instead of just they could have been more original in their first outing?
See, you could call it a mistake or you could call it a lack of choice. I wouldn't call it so much of a mistake. I would say it was lack of choice, because like I said, the entire ecosystem existed in China. There was no ecosystem in India at all. I see all these component manufacturers, all their design engineers, you couldn't find them in India. They were all available in only China. So The mistake to the extent that you could have built this strength in China itself, which is what we did. So we had roughly 700 people engineering team in China of our own. We have an office in China, and we created a team of our own, we built a team of our own. But having said that, at that time, because the demand and supply situation was so skewed towards demand, that perhaps people didn't even get time to think of doing these things. Because eventually, and it catches up, because anything which is built on a weaker fundamentals will eventually catch up with you at some point in time, which is what happened. And it should be a huge learning for all the Indian companies. And now we know what is right for business, we know what is the right thing to be done, and we should do it. And definitely, I think it's not that we have lost, we missed the bus. I would say a new bus is coming and we have to board the new bus and forget about the old bus now.
The second supplementary question I wanted to ask, like you talked about ecosystem in the country. So how do you rate the existing ecosystem that is existing, even if it say assembly point of view or the supply chain, and in a very Make in India universe, if we have to look at it. So how do you rate it? Like, what are the gaps that are still needs to be fixed, and what are the opportunities right now?
See, it's an evolving situation. I think one good thing is that a lot of manufacturing is now happening in India. So that creates a certain skill in the country. Because if that was not happening, you would not have acquired the skill in the country. So one level of skilling has started happening. Now the next level of skilling is obviously the component manufacturing. The component manufacturing is a skill to some extent. It is being done now. So, and it's growing every year, right? And because there's a government push, they put duties, and therefore things start happening here. And we also work with a lot of vendors to basically develop them. So for example, some of the components like charger, housing, batteries, etc. So we have developed Indian companies to do that. We have worked with them and told them, okay, you invest, you come here, this is how, and we'll kind of skill you. And we have worked very closely with some of the Indian companies to make sure that they start making those components in India, and therefore more and more of components get manufactured in India. At a second level, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, please go ahead.
So I was saying that there's a second level of component ecosystem which needs to get developed, but that is a place where there's a lot of competition. In the sense, China wants to retain that. Vietnam is another country which is wanting the same share of the pie, and India also is vying for the same pie, because those are the high-end components, and therefore the skill requirement is also higher. That's where the government programs come into picture, that government policies come into picture, because for people to leave those countries and come to India, it is going to take some hard selling, it's going to take some amount of incentivization that needs to be done. Otherwise, if they don't have an incentive, apart from the geopolitical issues that you see right now, but other than that, businesses are businesses. They would want to evaluate their business choices based on what is available to them, what is more beneficial to them. So that one is a bit of it might take some time.
Can Indian smartphone companies, can they come out of the shadows of Chinese players, just not mimic them all the time? And can they deliver a device that is equivalent in terms of quality, specifications, and most importantly, customer experience?
I have no doubt that will happen. There's no doubt about that. It will definitely happen. See, like I said, our skills on the software side, our skills on the manufacturing side. In fact, in our own case, we have found a huge change in the quality after shifting manufacturing from China to India. We have seen huge change in the quality from that perspective. So it is possible. However, there's a lot more control required on supply chain, which will happen gradually. But whatever is coming in our control, that we are able to, perhaps I would say in certain cases, we are even beating those parameters. Right? But it will take some time. It will, I would say, if you ask me, will it happen overnight? That's not going to happen. But will it happen? Yes, the answer is yes, it will happen. Eventually, I see it as the next decade. The next decade belongs to India. Because the next decade is going to be the one where things are going to change dramatically. The skilling is going to happen. the quality parameters, the quality expectations. See, till now, what was the case? 10 years back, the case was that customers' expectation of quality and experience was way below what it is today. Now, you can't go back and say, okay, I'm going to give you the same quality and same experience because I'm Indian, so go and buy me. That is not going to work anymore. If people have to buy an Indian brand, they will buy it on merit. And we have to work harder now to make sure that we attain that merit so that consumers choose us. It's not that some sentiment is going against somebody and therefore we will gain. We have to gain on our own merit, not somebody else's disadvantage.
You briefly mentioned earlier as well about the massive marketing budget, and of course it will be very difficult for Indian smartphone companies to match that. So, and then again, it comes down to like how present that brand is in consumers, like in terms of visibility and their resonance. So, how do you see this as a challenge?
So, see, marketing and advertising is definitely an icing on the cake, but it is not the cake. So, I think we have to first bake the cake and then start thinking about icing, because icing will happen. It is not an issue. See, the issue has been that Indian companies did not have the capability to build good products. Once that is happening, because that is happening, at least we are working very hard on that, the other aspects of acceptability will anyways fall in place. Now, another advantage that we have, because when we are talking in the context of India, one advantage that we have, see, if you see any global company which makes a new product, it is primarily with an eye on the key market. And the key market primarily happens to be their home market. So the thinking, the insights, all those things are all mostly much more relevant to home country than to other countries. Other countries just adopt to that what is designed for the home country. Now, therefore, whatever is coming from outside is meant for may not be 100% meant for India, but some percentage meant for India, but 100% meant for the market that they belong to. I think because we belong to India, we have picked up so many insights after going to the market, talking to customers. We have picked up many insights which we believe that once that value is built into the products, which is very unique to India, it will make a lot of difference. If consumers will then prefer something which is more relevant to them than less relevant to them. So that will happen.
What are your expectations from the government? From obviously there is a lot of push from the government as well. There is a lot of encouragement as well. But is there any specific thing that you are looking from the government to encourage homegrown smartphone companies?
Yeah, one thing what has happened recently is that government has come up with this PLI scheme, which is production linked incentive scheme, which is different for Indian companies and different for the outside company. There's some differentiation there, which is obviously helpful. But I would say that there is to build a strong component ecosystem, government may have to do a little more, and maybe have to be bolder than what we are today. Like I said, to attract these people from other countries to come into India and invest here, it might need bolder steps than incremental steps. I think a lot of good incremental steps have been taken so far, and a couple of bolder steps are required to be taken to have this complete shift happening quickly rather than slowly. It will happen over time, but if something bigger is done, it might happen much faster. On the manufacturing side, it is definitely a bold step. PLI is a very bold step, so therefore it will definitely lead to a lot of change in terms of production in the country. But in terms of having the manufacturing ecosystem, the component ecosystem completely shifting into India, or a large part of shifting into India, it will need a much bigger program, in my opinion.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Wish you the best. Thank you so much for connecting. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you, Kulbhushan. Nice. Thank you.